Right, we should be live. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Apologies for the delay. We've had, well, I was just having some technical difficulties starting the stream, but yeah, it says that YouTube says that I'm live now for the past 8 seconds. So yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me and if everything is working all right. Yeah, so we have got the Imola Grand Prix starting in half an hour. And for the first time in quite a while, we've had a bit of uncertainty of who's going to win this race. Max Verstappen, of course, we thought that he might not get pole position yesterday, but he came out and showed us that he's still got pace. He is still extremely quick in that Red Bull car. And yeah, Lando Norris only a tenth behind, though, very, very close. And then we have Charles Leclerc in third place, Carlos Sainz in fourth, Oscar Piastri in fifth because he blocked, I think it was Kevin Magnussen going through one of the chicanes, and that means that he got a 3-place grid penalty, moving him down from, maybe he got a 2-place grid penalty, moving him down from third into fifth. Yeah, that is, don't know why it's saying yellow flag at the chicane, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Hello, Kiaz, nice to see you here. It's going great, really, yeah. Yeah, Piastri, that's why he's in fifth, because he got a penalty for blocking in qualifying. Also, in other news, Fernando Alonso is going to be starting from the pit lane. He had a very bad qualifying yesterday, ended up in 19th position after Logan Sargent got his lap times deleted. So Aston Martin have changed the suspension. Well, not changed the suspension, but I think they've modified the suspension settings and the whatever things that they have in the suspension, the stiffness of the springs and dampers. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, but yeah, they've modified the suspension setup and they've probably optimized it for a race as well, rather than a qualifying/race setup. So Fernando Alonso should be looking to make some progress today up the field, but yeah, starting from 20th is not ideal. Oh, Oscar went from second to fifth. Right. Okay, yeah, it was a 3-place. Okay, yeah, no, I thought Lando outqualified him, but Lando was quicker in the first run of Q3, and then I think he was slower in the second run of Q3. So, yeah. All right, what is your favorite track? I would say Suzuka. Suzuka probably my favorite track, but Imola, actually driving Imola on the F1 games is a very enjoyable experience. So I would say Imola is definitely up there, for sure. Right. Also, we do have 63 laps of racing today. It will be a one-stop predicted by Pirelli, unless, of course, we do have safety cars, which there is an increased chance of this year compared to previous years, and I'll get into why. But usually the reason we have a one-stop at Imola is because the pit lane is so long and the drivers are under the pit lane speed limit for so long, which means that it takes them 26 seconds. They lose 26 seconds of race time plus however long their pit stop is. So it nearly comes out to 30 seconds of race time if they come into the pits. Whereas for other circuits, it's maybe 22 seconds, 24 seconds. So yeah, it is just a longer pit lane, and that means that you lose more time doing pit stop, so a two-stop is more unfavourable. But the increased chance of a safety car is due to the fact that at this circuit they have added more gravel. They have removed the grass. Well, they've removed a bit of grass, and they've added more gravel. So if there is a mistake, that'll bring gravel onto the circuit, which means that we will have much more chance of getting a safety car. That's what happened in Formula 2 and in Formula 3. The drivers went off and brought gravel back onto the circuit. More chance for incidents, obviously, when there is gravel close and nearby. But then, more chance for incidents when there's gravel nearby. And then, of course, if you do drive over the gravel and come back onto circuit, you bring a lot with you. Pretty self-explanatory, yeah. Listening to your live last race, and when Lando was leading, I came to watch the live stream. Needed to watch the Lando win, indeed. It was a great race 2 weekends ago in Miami, and in fact, we've got a race in 1 week at Monaco. Back-to-back races, and we'll be in Monaco in 1 week's time. Is it going to rain? Unfortunately, by the looks of it, it is not. There was a little bit of uncertainty earlier in the week on whether it was going to rain, and I checked yesterday, and it was just going to be sunny and cloudy. If you look at the weather at Imola right now, it is very sunny, very little clouds around. And if I check the weather now at Imola, it says in 3 hours' time, in 3 hours' time, there is a bit of chance of rain. So, but by that time, the race will be long gone. So there is potential, maybe like a 20%, 30% chance, but the rain would have to come early. So yeah, it's not predicted to actually arrive during the time of the race. Okay. Also, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Really would help out the channel as we get underway for the start of the race. We've got 500 people tuned in. That is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. All right. A couple of other upsets that we had yesterday in qualifying. Sergio Perez in 11th position. He was going pretty strong, and in fact, in the drivers' championship, he was only, I think it was less than 30 points behind his teammate. Yeah, Max Verstappen on 136 points, Perez on 103. So 33 points was the gap between the two teammates, which is quite close in relative terms, because last year it was absolutely enormous. So yeah, Perez doing a bit of a better job. And I'm sure quite a few of those points are down to the fact that Verstappen DNF'd in Australia. But Perez, he was doing well up until this point, and we'll see if he can recover from his mistake in qualifying. Right. What else is there to talk about? Well, of course, I've already mentioned that Fernando Alonso is going to be making his way through the pack. And then, of course, the battle at the front. Because this thing, going into turn number 1, Max Verstappen, in fact, does not have the racing line. I think Max Verstappen will be on the outside of the grid. Outside of turn number 1 if it continues side by side off the grid. So yeah, there is a very good chance that Lando Norris sneaks in down the inside and takes a race win. Well, no, okay, takes a race win, maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but there's a very good chance Lando Norris could sneak in down the inside, at least overtake Verstappen, and then we'll see if he can hold on to that. And also the other thing here, at Imola, only one DRS zone, so overtaking is going to be a lot harder than Miami, where there were 3 DRS zones. So yeah, it's going to be another tough one. I mean, to be fair, I think there are only 3 circuits on the entire calendar. It's Suzuka, Monaco, and Imola. I think these are the only 3 circuits that have only one DRS zone. Yeah. So we typically obviously see less overtakes in Monaco, mainly due to the fact that it's so narrow and right next to walls. But yeah, Suzuka, we saw quite a few overtakes, but we'll have to wait and see what the racing is like. The tyre strategies for Imola are starting the race on the medium tyres, then going on to the hard tyres. That is the quickest strategy, and then, of course, the alternate to that is starting the race on the hards and then going on to the mediums. There is an alternate. You can start on the softs and then go on to the hards, but with track temperature up at 42 degrees and the cars are going to be loaded with 110 kilograms of fuel, I would advise against that. Yeah, so who knows, really? Who knows? I think that most of the top 10 will probably end up starting on the medium tyres, and then we might see a couple of people in the bottom 10 pick the hards, hoping for a safety car midway through the Grand Prix. Do you think Oscar Piastri has an opportunity? Well, the problem is Oscar Piastri has got to overtake 2 Ferraris. If we assume through lap number 1 all the positions stay equal, then he's going to have to overtake 2 Ferraris, which will be pretty difficult in the McLaren, because just looking at the simulation data for the race pace, it looks like Ferrari is quicker than McLaren. Now, of course, that was also what the simulations showed. In qualifying, they showed that the Ferraris would be quicker than the McLarens. So there is a chance that the McLarens could be quicker in the race. But I'd like to think Ferrari have set up their car in sort of a race setup so they can, do well in the race in front of their home fans. And I think it will be a bit difficult for Piastri to get 2 overtakes done and then also catch up to his teammate. So, but it's not out of possibility. Like, we could definitely be seeing a double McLaren podium today. Um, yeah, yeah, but I think because it's Italy, I would very much love to see a double Ferrari podium rather than a double McLaren podium. Is Newey going to Ferrari? I mean, who knows? But I've just got to tell you, Newey has left Red Bull. The one race after he left, Red Bull straight away lost. And then Ferrari have brought an absolutely massive upgrade package that has worked really well. And now they might be second quickest and quite close to Red Bull. So maybe it's Adrian Newey. Maybe he just snuck the designs of the RB. I think it's what, RB16? No, is RB16 the right? Or maybe it's the RB22. I'm not actually sure what the Red Bull car is called, but he just took the design, sent them to Ferrari because the Ferrari side pods look awfully similar to the Red Bull side pods. They've kind of copied their design philosophy and have integrated it into their car. All right, folks, I'm looking forward to Alonso overtaking Stroll from last. Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. The cars, it shouldn't be too difficult for Alonso to overtake Sargent, Magnussen, the two Saubers, and Gasly and Albon as well. Yeah. Right. Yeah, the Mercs as well struggling. I mean, the Mercs are basically equivalent to the AlphaTauris in terms of pace. Oh, sorry, not the AlphaTauris. I'm just going to call them the AlphaTauris. I just don't care. Um, yeah, so Mercs are pretty similar to the AlphaTauris in terms of pace, and it's not been great, really. They have kind of been going backwards and slipping back. I think there was a little bit of upwards momentum at the start of the season, but then soon afterwards, everyone brought a little upgrade here, a little upgrade there, and Mercedes have been falling behind ever since. Yeah. Right. Okie dokes. Fernando Alonso has just given an interview. He thinks that it's going to be difficult to score points, and but he's going to see what he can do. I think that's fair enough. He's going to start in the pit lane. He's already had a bad weekend, made a mistake going through the in qualifying, going through turn number 2 and 3. Basically, what he'd done was in qualifying he had got. He got a really nice toe going down the main straight, and he was obviously, when you have a toe, your top speed's slightly higher, and it seemed like he just didn't account for that in his braking, or didn't account enough for that in his braking, and he braked into turn number 1, went a little bit deep, dipped a wheel on the grass when he went through turn number 2, and then went out onto the gravel. So yeah, not ideal to say the least for Fernando Alonso. Yeah, Newey sends RB20 parts. Reminds me of Spygate 2007. For anyone that didn't watch Formula 1 in 2007, including me, what happened was that there was quite the leaking of, I think it was Ferrari's car to McLaren. Ferrari. The Ferrari designs just got sent over to McLaren, and McLaren had a quick car. So that's what happened. Piastri is in P5. He has got a 3-place grid penalty. 3-place grid penalty for blocking Kevin Magnussen in qualifying yesterday. Yo, F1 Gamer, I bought F1 Access with your link. Thank you very much, Space. That is very much appreciated. But yeah, F1 TV Pro link is in the chat, in the description, and it has got all of the onboards, all of the footage, commentary in about 4-5 different languages, I think. Team radio, telemetry, anything that you could really want, really, is in F1 TV Pro. So go ahead and check that out. What track is the Parabolica corner at? Parabolica is at Monza, another Italian circuit, but here at Imola we have got, we've actually got quite a few interesting corner names. Well, we've got actual corner names, like compared to quite a few other circuits where they're just called turn one, turn two. Oh, actually, you guys can see my mouse. That is interesting. I didn't think I turned that on, but yeah, this is the Tamburello chicane, turn number 2, 3, and 4. And then I forgot what the name of this corner is, but this is Tosa here at turn number 7, which is the hairpin. This is Piratella. This is Aqua Minerale. The drivers are braking and turning at the same point here. It's very easy to spin out, as I think it was Fernando Alonso, in fact. Was it Fernando Alonso? Someone spun out in FP3 or FP2 in Aqua Minerale, and then you have Variante Alta, and then you have Ravazza in turn number 17 and 18. So those are the corner names at Imola. Yeah. So sad F1 Pro does not exist in Germany. Can't watch anything from the current session. Yeah, it's not ideal really. What can I say? It's Sky Sports' fault. Because it's Sky Sports. Yeah. Why do some tire type symbols have too low protection and some do not? I think they all have the same thing now. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh yeah, Race Control have just announced that it is a 10% chance risk of rain. Yeah, if it is going to rain, it's going to rain right in the last couple of laps, and the rain would still have to come 1 hour early, 1 hour earlier than expected. So, yeah. Okie dokes. Sonoda race win prediction. After one safety car, one for red flag, and 6 DNFs, Verstappen finishes with damage, but Leclerc are all among the DNFs. Sonoda, Piastri, and Verstappen. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty unlikely. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Orphan 1989 for the €11 donation. Thank you very, very much. Damn, okay, yeah, so Sonoda race prediction. After a one safety car, one red flag, 6 DNFs, Verstappen finished with damage, but Leclerc and Norris among the DNFs, one Sonoda. First Sonoda, second Piastri, third Verstappen. Well, actually, I think, Orphan, you have a pretty good track record of predictions. I think you've made two, and both of them have turned out to be correct. I think you said Daniel Ricciardo was going to do well in sprint quali and then do badly in the race, and that's exactly what happened. And I think I forgot the other one, but yeah, two out of two predictions. So maybe this will come true. What are the safety car possibilities based on previous races? Well, in fact, the safety car probabilities based on previous races is technically 100%, but the chance of safety cars here is much higher than it was previously because they've added more gravel to the circuit, which means, it's kind of self-explanatory. More gravel, more chance for mistakes going, having like spins and stuff like that, and then you get gravel all over the circuit. So there is definitely much more chance of a safety car, and that's what we saw in F2 and in F3 because of the increased amount of gravel at the circuit. Any mistakes got punished a lot more, and the chance of a safety car was much higher. So that is brilliant. Okie dokes. If I'm correct this time, it might be time to start betting. Indeed, indeed. Stake.com is a betting thing, isn't it? I'm pretty sure stake.com is a betting thing. They sponsor Alfa Romeo. Nice and well, it is what it is. Yeah. All right, we're 10 minutes away from getting started for the Grand Prix. We've got all of the drivers, in the getting ready, putting on their race suits, doing their final couple of checks. We've had the national anthem, we've had the driver parade, and all the cars lined up on the grid, as you guys can see on the map. And we'll be getting underway for the formation lap in 9 minutes' time. Let me know what your predictions are in the chat. And let me know who you think is going to be in the lead going into turn number 4. Is it going to be Max Verstappen? Is it going to be Lando Norris? Is it going to be Charles Leclerc? Yeah. Right. Race predictions. Rain, track gets wet. Perez dives bomb into the first corner like he did in Miami, causing a chain reaction. Top 11 DNF and Logan Sargent wins. Yeah, well, Logan Sargent in 19th, he's got a lot of places to make up, even if the top 11 do DNF. Yeah. Alonso is in the pit lane because he is. They've modified the setup between qualifying and the race. He had quite a bad qualifying. The car isn't where he wanted it to be, so they have modified the setup, and that is why he is starting from the pit lane, because modifying the setup breaks the Parc Ferme regulations, which means instead of starting on the grid, he's starting the pit lane. Piastri has got a 3-place grid penalty because he blocked Kevin Magnussen in qualifying. So that's why he has moved from 2nd place down into 5th. Magnussen seeing the stewards for the Magnussen. I think this. Yeah, but this time Magnussen was seeing the stewards when it wasn't his fault, So it's a big difference. But I don't think Magnussen has seen the stewards this weekend. So, because I don't think you have to go when you are when you've been the one blocked. I think it's the driver that did the blocking is the only one that has to go see them. So. Yeah, Magnussen has had a bit of a break from the stewards, but we'll wait and see. We've still got 63 laps of racing, and with Magnussen starting in 18th position, if he makes up a couple places on the start, then we could have another Magnussen train, a Magnussen train forming, and that would be very exciting to watch, as we had in Miami. But yeah, it is. I think the penalties are a little bit excessive. You go slightly off the circuit, and a 10-second penalty, like, a bit odd. Yeah, you should write a message in the chat explaining Oscar and say Alonso and Piastri, just a suggestion. Yeah, that is I think I can just pop it up on the screen. I'm just going to say Piastri with a 3-place grid penalty. I think everyone already knows about Alonso. Piastri, 3-place penalty due to blocking. Actually, I can just blocked K-Mag in quali. Right. Let's just stick that up on the screen. There we go. Right. I think you can add AI radio transcriptions. We can see the radio. Yeah, I think you guys might be able to do that. Actually, I think I can do that. Give me a second. Where is it gone? Right. I'll have a look how good and accurate the transcriptions are, and then I might end up sticking them on the stream, or I might not, but we'll see. Okie dokes. Where do you get the actual timetable? It is on. Well, I'm using Multiviewer, but there's another website called f1tfeed.net, and you can get the same thing for free. Bippity boppity, Ferrari's close to topping. Yeah, Ferrari. I mean, they had a massive upgrade package. Like, I've got to say, the Ferrari team have done a brilliant job. They've upgraded the side pods, all of the cooling for the side pods, all of the what was I going to say? Yeah, all of the cooling for the side pods, the rear wing, the floor, like, massive upgrades for Ferrari, and that's what's been happening. Yeah. Alonso starting from the pit lane. Yeah, it might have actually been a good idea to put that up on the screen, but yeah. Yeah, we're 3 minutes away from getting going now. Yeah, actually, I think it's quite a good idea to put the team radios in the bottom right. I could probably get rid of the F1 advert because since my little sponsorship deal is, well, the main part of the sponsorship deal is over since we've gone through the first, I think, 4 races of the season or something. So, we've got the tyres pop through. Pierre Gasly starting the race on the softs. Alonso starting on the softs. So I guess they're betting on an early safety car here, whereas we have Joe Sargent Perez starting on the hards, and everyone else is on the mediums. So Zoe Sargent and Perez are hoping for a mid-race safety car. Alonso and Gasly are hoping for an early safety car, and then we have got everyone else just doing the quickest strategy. Yeah. Right. I mean, yeah, Alonso starting on the hard, starting on the soft. Sorry, that is going to be some brilliant overtaking that we're going to get to see at the start of this Grand Prix. Okay, 2 minutes away from lights out. We will be underway shortly. Okie dokes. Yeah, in fact, I might as well just stick it up on the screen and stick up the radio transcriptions because it is actually a very nice, good feature. It's all translated by AI, so it might not be totally accurate, but I think it is good enough. Yeah. All right. Here we go then. We are getting very close to getting underway now. I think we've got 3,200 people have tuned into stream. If you are enjoying the coverage, folks, be sure to hit the like button. Really will help out the channel. Hopefully we can hit 500 likes before the start of the stream. Before the start of the race, sorry. Yeah. Oh, we are now, 90 seconds away, basically. All of the drivers turning on their engines. They're doing the power-ups. And, yeah, here we go. DRS has been disabled. It'll be enabled on lap number 2 of the race. And, yeah. All right, then. 63 laps of racing here in Imola. The formation lap will be getting underway shortly. We're going to go from the bottom of the pack all the way up to the top, talking through how everyone's weekend has been so far. And here we go. Hello, everyone. Yeah, 3,700 of you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And here we go then. We have Fernando Alonso starting from the pit lane after having a terrible qualifying, a bit of a couple of mistakes in practice as well. And he is now starting from the pit lane after modifying his setup to make it more suited for the race and just tweaking it to his preferences. So he's broke the park firmware rules and he is starting in the pit lane. Logan Sargent in 19th after getting 2 lap times deleted yesterday. Yeah, not ideal to say the least there for Logan Sargent, and that is why he's in 19th. Then we had K-Maga getting significantly outqualified by Nico Hulkenberg, 8 positions between the two teammates. And then we have Valtteri Bottas at Guan Yu Zhou in 16th and 17th, right next to each other. And yeah, Bottas on the mediums, Zhou on the hards. It's a bit of a split strategy there at Alfa Romeo, even though both of the drivers are starting next to each other. Then we have Pierre Gasly in 15th after Alpine have made some serious gains in their performance, and yeah, it's looking good for the Alpines on a bit of an upward trajectory. We've got Alex Albon in 14th position. He has extended his contract till 2027 with... I don't know why it says green flag for Q1. It should say formation lap. Yeah. All right. Where was I up to? Oh yeah, Alex Albon extended his contract till 2027 with the Williams team, and then we've got we've got Lance Stroll with an indefinite contract at Aston Martin because his dad owns the team. Then we have Esteban Ocon in 12th position, outqualifying Pierre Gasly. Sergio Perez in 11th. He's got a lot of ground to make up today. He has had a bad qualifying, bit of an upset, and not even making it through into Q3. P3. Then we have Nico Hulkenberg. He was absolutely sensational yesterday. The qualifying performances were out of this world from Kevin Magnussen, and he did a great job. So props to him. And yeah, let's just wait and see what happens. Then we have got Danny Rick, close to Tsunoda this time, so not too far back, and hopefully he can make some places. The screen has just frozen. It'll be back in 10 seconds. Just hang in there, folks. And then we have got Lewis Hamilton in 8th, Tsunoda in 7th, George Russell in 6th, Oscar Piastri in 5th after a 3-place grid penalty after blocking K-Mag in qualifying. The Tifosi have got the red smoke out. The Ferrari flags are waving high for Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc in 3rd and 4th position. Then we have Lando Norris in 2nd and Max Verstappen in 1st as they are approaching the grid now. Here we go then. Here we go. And everyone asking for the radio transcriptions. I will put them up on the screen as we get a little bit into the race, because I can't really miss the start of the race. That's the most exciting bit. And then I'll put up the team radios. Right then, we have got everyone approaching the back of everyone approaching the pack now, and we'll be underway in no time. Okie dokes. Once again, Fernando Alonso starting from the pit lane, but we have got everyone now lined up on the grid. Max Verstappen on the inside, pointing his car already against Lando Norris, and there we have it. Lights are out, and away we go. Going into turn number 1, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris side by side, and what can they do? Verstappen has lead, and Leclerc overtakes Sainz going into turn number 1, and then we've got Verstappen, then Norris, then Sainz, then Leclerc. Then Leclerc, then Sainz. As they make their way through the Tamburello chicane. No incidents at the back of the pack. It was 3 wide at one point, but the drivers are looking A-OK as they head towards Tosa for the first time of this Grand Prix, and they have 63 more laps remaining. All right. Ocon gets a nice overtake done on Stroll going through Tosa, and now they're going towards Aqua Minerale for the first time. We've had a couple of incidents at the back. Kevin Magnussen going a little bit over the grass here while he gets overtaken by Pierre Gasly, but at the front we have got Max Verstappen leading the race and nearly has extended that gap out to 1 second already. I mean, we are very much back to Max Verstappen dominance. For one weekend it had taken a bit of a break, had a bit of a nap, but what has happened here? Max Verstappen is about to break that DRS. If Lando Norris can just hang in there, he has just hung in there, and he's managed to stay on the back of Max Verstappen. So a good job there from Lando Norris. Now, there's only one DRS zone, so it probably won't help him out that much, but let's wait and see what happens. All right. Oh, it's just frozen. It'll be back in a sec. A little bit glitchy today, but there we go. It is back. The DRS is down the main straight, so just going down through turn number 19 to turn number 1. I think there's DRS zone after turn number 1 before turn number 2. And the detection point is coming out of the final corner. But as we go on to lap number 2, Max Verstappen has broke that 1 second gap already. Charles Leclerc, in fact, not applying that much pressure on Lando Norris. He is quite far back, so we'll wait and see how this progresses. But the Ferraris do have slightly quicker race pace compared to the McLarens. But we'll see how it actually plays out in the race. Okay, we've got 7,000 people tuning in. Wow, that is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Very much do appreciate the support, folks, and hope you are enjoying the coverage. Yeah. All right, so just a quick review. Max Verstappen, a 1 minute 20.5. That is exceptionally quick considering that he's got 110 kilograms of fuel in his car. Lando Norris is in second place. Charles Leclerc overtook Carlos Sainz initially off the race start, but then they have switched around. They just Sainz momentarily overtook Leclerc and then they switched back as they went through the chicane. So quite close there between the two Ferraris. And then Oscar Piastri is still in fifth position after his grid penalty. Yeah. Okie dokes. Yeah, not too much exciting. I mean, look at this. You can see there's sort of two different sections of the pack, and it's already been split up. From everyone from Sonoda behind is all in one big train. Fernando Alonso hasn't even made an overtake, considering he's on the soft tires. Logan Sargent is on the hards. Alonso's really got to get a move on if he wants to get anywhere near the points. He did say at the start it's going to be pretty difficult. I don't think he has that much hope in this weekend for the Aston Martin team. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Carlos Sainz right on the back of Leclerc. In fact, Leclerc has dropped out of DRS of Lando Norris as well. Piastri with the purple first sector because he got a nice toe off Sainz, who got a nice toe off Leclerc. So a double slipstream for Piastri, getting him the fastest first sector. And it's everyone's seeming to spread out as of now. And I think the gamble that Alonso and Gasly have gone on with the fact that we're going to get an early safety car might turn out to be a gamble that does not pay off. Yeah. Where is the team radio I promised? In fact, right. Well, I'm going to try and commentate while setting up the team radio. So just apologies if my commentating is a bit bad for about 2 minutes. What am I trying to capture? Yeah, as we have the drivers going through the... Actually, just hang in there. I'm gonna mute my mic for 1 minute and I'll get the team radios up on the screen. There we go. I've got the team radios up on the screen, so I'm just gonna drag them over here and get rid of this advert and put the team radios. I think that's unreadable. I don't know. I don't think you guys can read that. So I'm going to try and sort that out because if the font's too small, it's not really helping anyone out anyway. You guys should let me know if the font is too small because I think it is. Yeah, right. There we go. Okay, right. So you guys should be able to read that now. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Team radios. So if you do like that, then do let me know. Yeah, I think if you're on a phone, it's just a bit unreadable. So apologies for that, but I can't make it that much bigger. Otherwise, the team radios would go by too quickly. But so just what have you missed? Really, in the 2 minutes that I stopped commentating, you haven't really missed much. Yeah, the gaps, everyone has just spread out so much. Stroll has tried to make an overtake on Esteban Ocon. And oh, sorry, this is just a replay. Stroll did make an overtake on Alex Albon and got past him on the opening lap. But yeah. Oh, you can zoom into the team radio if you're on the phone. Well, there you go. So that is that's the team radios. I mean, you get it's pretty some useful information there, like telling you that Zhou's on attack mode. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Carlos does not have DRS, yeah. So Carlos now, he has dropped off the DRS of Charles Leclerc, and we have Oscar Piastri is the sole driver in the top. Is the sole driver in the top 5 who is going to be chasing down someone with DRS. The gap between himself and Carlos Sainz half a second. So it looks like the McLarens have quicker race pace as well. So it seems the simulations that they did in practice were a little bit inaccurate. The McLarens do have are a bit quicker than the Ferraris. And I'd probably put that down to the fact that McLaren brought upgrades last weekend and probably hadn't worked out all of the little kinks and details and then figured those out through the practice session, and that's why they are a bit quicker. New here, love your live stream. Very much do appreciate it, buddy. Yeah. Imagine if Norris pulls the Leclerc, he wins in Miami, he wins in Imola. Well, I mean, Norris is, I think, if anyone has a chance of winning this race, it is Norris. So, yeah. Sainz has come over the radio saying the McLaren is quick, and that is indeed very accurate. Piastri has just been told over the radio Sainz will not have a DRS. And yeah, it's full attack mode now for Oscar Piastri. And I'm just watching the onboard here. He's going all over the curbs now. He's really pushing the car to limit. 0.3 is the gap as they go down the main straight. And some serious pace from Oscar Piastri now. He's gaining and gaining with the DRS and the slipstream. Let's wait and see. Fernando is coming into the pits. He's been told to box. So he's coming out on a set of soft tyres. Well, no, sorry, he's coming in on a set of soft tyres. We'll see what he comes out on. But yeah, the soft tyres lasting only about 7 laps. Not ideal. All right. Pierre Gasly as well, he started on the softs. He's probably going to come in sooner or later. It has not been too good. Is a one-stop plausible here? Is a one-stop plausible here? Yeah, one-stop is actually the quickest strategy. So yeah. So I would say it is plausible, since it's the quickest strategy. And yeah, let me just move this wave thing. Oh no. Wave thing that can go there, sure. All right. Yeah. All right, lap number 9 of 63. Piastri has DRS once again, and he is so close going into the Tamburello chicane. But yeah, it's the closest he's ever been, but it's still not close enough. And that one single DRS zone is really not helping out. Fernando Alonso comes out on a set of hard tyres. And we have 3 other drivers coming into the pits. We have 2 people on the mediums, Alex Albon and Valtteri Bottas, and Pierre Gasly, who is on the softs. He has also come in. So a very early pit stop here from Albon and Bottas, considering they're on medium tyres, but the hard tyres really can last on this circuit. Like, they really are very durable. So it should not be too difficult to go to the end of the race on a set of hard tyres from this point onwards, especially if there is a safety car, which I think all of these guys are currently banking on, because they know that they don't have the raw pace to get up into the points, and that's why they are... Albon's going slowly. Albon is going slowly. What's up with Alex Albon? Maybe some sort of issue with the pit stop, but he is driving extremely slowly. Yeah. Don't know what's going on there. Very odd situation, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. Is there anything over the radio about Alex Albon? Let's hope it doesn't... Oh, yeah, they could have a safety car. We could have a safety car caused by Alex Albon. The safety car window is open and he's still moving. Interesting, right? So they're just... Yeah, he's going very, very slowly though. Right, and Piastri getting very, very close to overtaking Sainz going through into Tosa. Right. There we go. Albon already getting lapped. Some sort of issues going on here. And maybe he's going to try to get back to pit lane, but it looks like he's stopped. Now, if he's driving up into an escape road, he should be fine. But if there is no escape road, then we could have a safety car. Oh no, Albon's still moving. Okay. Oh, he was just waiting for everyone else to go past. Yeah, I have no idea what's up with the Williams. He's just going so slow. It's just I think he's just gonna drive back into the pits. He just doesn't want to cause a safety car. I guess that's what it is. He's probably just gone into limp hone safe mode on his car, and that's what's happened there. Yeah, very unfortunate there for Alex Albon. You know, he's just had his contract extended with Williams, and his first race after the contract extension, he has had some sort of issue. Um, yeah. And we've seen this with okay, so Piastri here. He's been behind Sainz for quite a while now. Maybe he's 5 laps, and he's really going to struggle with overheating. A couple of drivers further behind, you know, Esteban Ocon, he's struggling with overheating as well. So they've got to be careful. Okay, so this is interesting. They've Alex Albon's coming out of the pit lane. Don't know what's gone on, but they just came in and then they swapped him from hards to mediums. But um, but yeah, who knows? It seems like a pretty standard pit stop. Yeah, everything seems pretty normal on the pits. Not sure what's happened there with Alex Albon, but he's back up to racing speed, albeit a lap down. Um, yeah, he's a lap down from Fernando Alonso. Everyone has lapped him. Um, yeah, not great. Not great whatsoever. Also, we're getting pretty close to 1,000 likes, folks. So if you are enjoying the coverage, then be sure to hit the like button. And if we can hit 69,000 subscribers, that would be very nice today. Yeah, we are, 435 subscribers? Oh, no, 433 subscribers away. So yeah, thank you everyone for subscribing and tuning in. Piastri is getting close. In fact, on this previous occasion, Sainz had to go defensive into turn number 1 because Piastri was the closest he's ever been. So even through all of the overheating issues, Piastri is still gaining places and he is doing a solid job. Daniel Ricciardo coming out of the pits now. He's done a 2.7-second pit stop. Started the race on the mediums, out onto the hards. Now 52 laps that he's got to do on one stint of hards. Yeah. Right, there we go. You could have passed if you Piastri saving his tires. You could have passed if you wanted to. Well, I think saving tires while you're stuck in overheating air, probably not the best way to go about it. But yeah. Esteban Ocon has been asked to do a small lift and coast into turn number 17, that is Ravazza. You're not going to lose too much time lifting and coasting into that corner, but that, yeah, kind of just indicating the fact that they think they're not going to have a safety car, so it's time to start saving the fuel. And this is something that we quite see. The teams, they maybe put 5 kilograms less fuel than they need and hope for a safety car, especially at a circuit where safety cars are lightly. They hope that there will be a safety car and then they can get away with saving all of the fuel under the safety car. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the radio transcriptions. No worries, buddy. No worries. That is the engineer talking to drivers. Yeah, both ways. So whatever the driver says to the engineer, and whatever the engineer says to the driver. Alonso front. A wheel. Okay, a wheel nut issue with Alex Albon. Interesting. Yeah, and when Alonso came into the pits, it looked like he had a bit of a slow pit stop and then smoke coming out of his brakes. But yeah, it should be fine. That's another thing because you have such a long pit lane in Imola. Oh yeah, that's actually a massive, quite a big fire there. Because the pit lane is so long in Imola. The drivers, the brakes, and they're all going at a slow speed for a long time. So the chances of a fire are well much highly increased. Right. Nico Hulkenberg coming into the pits. But, also I'd just like to point out, even if the brakes do go on fire, it's totally fine. They're all made out of carbon and they can survive temperatures up to like, I think 1,200 degrees or something. And then the fire isn't that hot. So most of the time they are absolutely fine. Right. Um, Also, I'd just like to point out, Nico Hulkenberg came out of the pits and he got undercut by he got undercut by Yuki Tsunoda. So good job there from the AlphaTauri crew, getting Yuki Tsunoda ahead of Nico Hulkenberg through the pits, through the pit stop strategy. But yeah, maybe something like that could happen up at the top. Ferrari could make some wonderful strategy, and they could maybe overtake the McLarens. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? Yeah, Max Verstappen out in front. He is 4.8 seconds clear of Lando Norris. He is so much further ahead and he's doing a brilliant job. But yeah, just a little bit boring. What can I say? Right. Yeah, Ferrari plus strategy. Not the most, not the best combo we've ever seen in the world. But I have hope. I have hope. Given it's Ferrari's home Grand Prix, I think that they might do it. Right. And here we go. Piastri once again in DRS of Carlos Sainz. But look at that. He's dropped back. Previously, he was, within 3 tenths, within 4 tenths. But now he is 7 tenths. And, before the start of the DRS zone, he was like 1.1 seconds behind him. So, yeah, that DRS really helping Piastri stay on the back of Carlos Sainz. But it seems like his tyres have worn out and taken the toll of being stuck behind another driver. Yeah. A safety car could change this race. Indeed, it could. I mean, look at how spread out the pack is. We are 15, 16 laps into the Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen is going through the end of Sector 2, and we still have, well, to be fair, the other drivers have pit, but still, it's quite spread out compared to normal. Yeah, Verstappen. I think Verstappen is sandbagging sometimes. Honestly, Verstappen after the end of Miami, he was just smiling. Like he was not worried whatsoever. Like, oh, maybe the McLarens are quicker than us. He was not worried whatsoever. And you can see why he was not worried because we are 17 laps into the race and he's got a 5 second lead and it is growing every single lap. Just on the previous lap, in fact, he gained 2 tenths over Lando Norris. So that's what's going on. Yeah, it's been quite a lot of tire conservation. They've just told Piastri to change his torque settings to reduce wear on his rear tires. And look at that, the gap for everyone already bigger than 1 second. So Piastri is out of DRS of Carlos Sainz finally, and it is going to be, it's going to be pretty tough for him to get past now. Right, I'm going to have a quick sip of water. Yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Right. Yeah. Right, Leclerc has been told over the radio that they are going for Plan B. I'm not sure what Plan B means, but that probably just means, well, actually, because it's basically a one-stop, there's only really a chance of getting a one-stop. Plan B probably just means extend your first stint out, or shorten it out. But considering we're already on lap number 18, it probably means extend your first stint. Yeah. Red Bull team meeting Verstappen. Don't worry, we are just sandbagging to make it more exciting. Perez, wait, what? We are sandbagging? Yeah, that is very nice. Thank you once again for the donation, buddy. Yeah, thank you. All right. Max Verstappen has got a track limit strike at turn number 18 for exceeding track limits. Yeah, turn number 18, that is the final corner. There is a whole lot of curb there, but if you put all four wheels to on the outside of the white line, you will get a warning. You'll get 3 warnings, in fact, and then you will get a penalty. All right. Here we go then. Max's tyres degrading faster than Norris. Let's have a look at the lap times. No, it seems that the gap is still Max is still a tenth quicker. So yeah, it seems to be doing fine. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, I think he was just pushing the limits a little bit too bit. He went deep. Who was it went deep? Perez. Oh no, Perez has gone deep. Perez made a pretty big mistake going into turn number 17 of Ravazza, locking the left front, not pulling off enough speed, going all over the gravel. But he did not bring any gravel back onto the circuit, so he will not be having a safety car. Yeah. Right. Let's see what else is going on the circuit. Piastri once again back into DRS of Carlos Sainz, but yeah, not great really. Not making too much progress on that overtake. Now we'll wait and see what they do in terms of the strategy. Maybe they'll have an undercut and pull it off, but who knows? Yeah. Right. Okie dokes. Checo has gained 2 places. Indeed, he has. But I think those 2 places were from drivers that were already ahead of him pitting. Yeah. All right. But yeah, we're approaching one third of the way through the race now, and the top 13 still yet to come into the pits. Yeah, I'm sure Perez, Zoe, and Sargent will be staying out longer since they're on the hards, but everyone else should be pitting, sorry, in the next 5-10 laps. Yeah. Okie dokes. Sargent is in P13. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, the only reason he's in P13 is because everyone else behind him has everyone else who was in front of him came into the pits and then he came up behind. We've just got a bit of a replay of Max Verstappen. He's going over the curbs quite viciously there at Variante Alta, which is turn number 14, where Stroll is just going through now. But yeah, got airborne as he went through there. So Verstappen being quite aggressive on the curbs to keep up his pace. Yeah, well, to be fair, it's probably a mistake not to keep up his pace, because on the previous lap where he made that mistake, he was a tenth slower than his usual pace. So, yeah. All right. There we go. We are 1/3 of the way through the race, and I'm going to be honest, it's not been the most exciting. We haven't had that much overtaking. We've had Piastri pressuring Carlos Sainz for quite a while now for that fourth position spot, but really getting nowhere with it whatsoever. And the gap between Verstappen and Norris is just growing every single lap. We are now at 6.3 seconds. And Alex Albon is still a lap down. He hasn't been able to make much progress because, yeah, it's not been too great for him. And in fact, Alex Albon has unlapped himself from Fernando Alonso by the looks of it. Yeah, so Fernando Alonso has just been unlapped by. Oh no, sorry. Alex Albon has just unlapped himself against Alonso. So yeah, the Williams is quicker than the Aston Martin, or at least in the hands of Fernando Alonso this weekend, the Williams is quicker. Bit of a surprise. Verstappen's coming over the radio saying his front left tire is really bad, and he's struggling. And he's just had another lap time deleted. In fact, this time at turn number 6, which is the second chicane. Yeah, that's just too wide. Carry too much entry speed into that corner, and you will end up going wide. So that's what Max Verstappen has done, and that is why he's been given a second track limits warning. So if he gets another one, then if he gets another 2, then he'll end up with a 5-second penalty. Yeah. George Russell, the first driver out of the top 10 coming into the pits, and he is out on the hard tyres as expected. A 2.4-second pit stop for George Russell, and it is fairly standard. We have got a 10-second penalty for Alex Albon for driving around the car in an unsafe condition. I mean, the man is already a lap down. Like, was there any need to give him a penalty? I don't know. I mean, yeah, and to be fair, he was driving around fairly normally. Like, it's a 10-second stop-go penalty for Alex Albon. Yeah, I mean, he was driving around as if he had an issue, but he was being totally safe. So giving him a ridiculous penalty. I mean, at that point, he might as well just pit and come in, like, because he's not going to score any points regardless. But yeah, if we get an F in the chat for Alex Albon, the FIA kicking a man when he's down already is a bit brutal. We've got the McLaren pit crews coming out. We've got the Ferrari pit crews coming out. Lando Norris into the pit lane. Oh no, it's not Norris in the pit lane. Sorry, Oscar Piastri. Oh no, Norris is in the pit lane. Apologies for that. And he comes out of the pit lane out on a set of hard tyres. Right, now it is time to see what the Ferrari teams are going to do. Is Charles Leclerc going to try and overcut Lando Norris? Is he going to try and undercut Lando Norris? Well, I mean, Lando Norris has gone for the undercut, so Charles Leclerc's got to try the overcut. Is he going to come in on this lap? Is he going to come in 5 laps? Who knows? Yeah, Verstappen's come over the radio. I've got terrible rotation. And another lap time track limit extension, and there's a black and white flag now for Max Verstappen for exceeding track limits at turn number 17 on this occasion. So turn number 17 is the entry into Ravazza. And if he does that one more time, he will end up with a 5-place grid, but a 5-second time penalty, sorry. Not that it's going to matter, because he was already 6 seconds in the lead of the race, but it makes it more exciting. It makes it much more exciting. And also, the fact is, Verstappen's yet to pit, so when he comes into the pits, he's going to have to serve that 5-second penalty there and then, which will make it a lot more exciting. Look at that, Piastri coming into the pits as well. So both McLarens coming in for early pit stops, and now we're going to have both Ferraris going long, which is what I think Plan B meant when the engineers came over the radio to say Plan B to Charles Leclerc. Okie dokes. And look at that purple first sector from Lando Norris. He is really pushing those hard tyres to the limit. He's looking to get the maximum out of them and really heat up the tyre, because the warm-up on those hard tyres does take a while, and he's got Perez on his tail. So, yeah, he's going to have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, yeah, and Norris, of course, also did get slipstream and overtook Perez. So that's why he got a purple first sector. All right, Max Verstappen coming into the pits now. He's going to have to serve that 5-second penalty after setting a fastest lap. He's just set a fastest lap of the race on 24 lap old medium tires. I mean, wow. Yeah, a 1 minute 20.4. That's half a second quicker than the rest of the competition. But yeah, he comes into the pits now. He's going to serve a 5-second penalty, come out behind Lando Norris by the looks of it. Oh no, he comes out ahead. He comes out ahead even with a decent margin. Wow, how crazy is that? Okay, yeah, we got 10,000 viewers. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you are enjoying, be sure to hit the like button. Hopefully we can hit 1,500 likes. And we're getting pretty close to now 69,000 subscribers, which would be very nice if we could hit that. Yeah. How many subscribers? 309. Yeah, 309 subscribers. What is Ferrari doing? Ferrari is going for the overcut strategy. So what they're hoping for is that I think they're going to do maybe 3, 4, 5 more laps on those tires now, and then they're going to come into the pits or put on a set of hard tires, and the gap and the tire wear difference between Norris and Leclerc, that is what they are banking on to be enough for Leclerc to make the overtake. So Lando Norris has done 3 laps on his hard tires. Leclerc now has just come into the pits. He is going to have maybe done, well, he's going to have done 3 less laps on his set of hard tires, and maybe that will be enough to let him get an overtake done. But as Leclerc comes out of the pits, he is firmly behind Lando Norris, and in fact, potentially could be getting overtaken by Piastri. The undercut has really worked for the McLarens. They have activated those tires ASAP, and now they have gone. Oscar Piastri with the fastest lap of the race, and I think Carlos Sainz might actually end up behind Piastri coming through the pits. So we'll see what Sainz does as he's currently in the lead of this race, but that won't last long. Lewis Hamilton is going slowly. Has just been overtaken by Alex Albon, and is that Hamilton going slowly? Let's have a check on what's going up on the radio, but yeah. Don't know if that was a mistake but Alex Albon was quite a bit further behind compared to Hamilton. Interesting. Oh no, Hamilton's doing fine. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, Piastri he's done a fastest lap of the race, and Sainz is really going to struggle keeping that lead. So I think what he's going to do now is go long and hope that the tyre difference in terms of tyre wear is going to be enough to get him to overtake Piastri later on in the race. Sargent's just going over the radio saying, I really have nothing left here. He's in 14th position trying to chase down Nico Hulkenberg. Daniel Ricciardo is on his tail. But yeah, I think he means I've got nothing here in terms of tyres, and he's done 25 laps on those hard tyres, and he's going to have to make them last at least till halfway, and then do the second half of the race on the mediums. But yeah, it's a tall order now for Logan Sargent. Okay. Here we go then. What was Leclerc's pit stop time? Honestly, I have no idea. It's probably something in the 2 or 3 seconds, like nothing too special. Right, Lewis Hamilton will be coming into the pits. There we go. Hamilton into the pits. Sainz as well into the pits. I think when Sainz comes out, Piastri will have breezed past him and be long gone. So it's not looking good there for Sainz. But here they are going into going side by side. Piastri, does he get ahead of Carlos Sainz? Yes, he does, because the pit lane is so long here in Imola. Sainz, in fact, will come out approximately 4 seconds behind Piastri. Yeah, 4 seconds behind Piastri. That has really not worked out for Ferrari, so they've only got one car on the podium. To be fair, they only had one car on the podium, but Sainz was in 4th rather than 6th. So yeah, Perez is struggling a little bit on his 27 lap old hard tyres, so he will be coming in soon enough. But yeah, Sainz has got 4 seconds of ground to make up to catch up to the back of Piastri and then also make an overtake, which has been proven to be pretty difficult around here at this circuit. Right. Um, Yeah. Yeah, nothing too exciting as of now. I mean, you can see this from the screen. There's no one within 1 second apart from Daniel Ricciardo on Logan Sargent. Also, you know when Lewis Hamilton was going slowly a couple of laps ago, they've only just shown the replay, which I don't know what they were doing, but Hamilton made an absolutely enormous mistake, went all over the gravel, and that is why he was going so slowly, because he was clearing up all of the dust from the gravel and the dirt. Um, Off his tires. Otherwise, if he tried to push, then what was going to happen was he was just going to spin out. So yeah, Hamilton, quite an odd mistake there. Haven't seen that, but you know that's what happens when you have more and more gravel on the circuit. Even the smallest mistakes get punished quite a bit, and I guess it's kind of good to see. All right. Oscar Piastri on the back of Charles Leclerc now. He has been stuck on the back of Carlos Sainz. He's been staring at that Ferrari front wing for so long. But this time he's got slightly older tires, but he's got the momentum. He's been on an upward trajectory. His previous lap time was quicker than Charles Leclerc's lap time by 0.3 of a second. So let's wait and see what he can do. Let's wait and see. He's got DRS. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he has got DRS as they come down the straight. But yeah, the gap was bigger than 1 second. Like he was way too far back to actually gain and get close to an overtake. However, Sainz is very close to getting an overtake on Perez here, and there he goes down the inside. Perez not fighting it too much because he's just going to end up losing out. And he's got 29 lap old tires, whereas Sainz has got 2 lap old tires. So really no difference whatsoever. All right. Okie dokes. But yeah, Verstappen still maintaining that 6 second lead ahead of everyone else. He has served his penalty. Oh no, Verstappen didn't have a penalty. Verstappen only had a track limits black and white flag. But you know, if he does exceed track limits just one more time, he will end up with a 5 second time penalty. Yeah. 5 second time penalty for Verstappen is on the cards. One more track limits extension. That's a tiny little mistake to make, you know. But I suspect he'll be driving within the limits at 95% to prevent that from happening. Right. Okie dokes. Sorry to repeat myself. Where are the starts and stops of each sector? I think, okay, I'm not particularly sure, but I think the start of sector 1 is of course this start finish line here, which oh, you can't see my mouse now. Oh no, there you can. Okay, start of sector 1 is here. The end of sector 1 is here, and the start of sector 2, and I think the end of sector 2 is either here or here, and then sector 3 is this bit to the start finish line. So yeah, you guys can see my mouse. That is, yeah. Hamilton has got a track limits extension, and so has Sonoda. Well, Hamilton had one for going really wide at Aqua Minerale, but Sonoda has actually got a legitimate track limits extension. They've come over the radio to Oscar Piastri saying that the tyre degradation is higher than expected on all the tyres and for all of the drivers, and with track temperatures up at 42 degrees, that is kind of to be expected. George Russell gets the overtake done on Sergio Perez. He's not going to be happy about that. Perez moved a little bit late. I'm sure Russell will be over the radio complaining about that, but he should be fine. since he actually got the overtake done. Piastri on this occasion, 6/10 is the gap as they go into the Tamburello chicane, and this is replicating exactly what was happening between himself and Carlos Sainz, but now this time it's the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, and yeah, he gets the DRS going through the DRS detection point. He comes out of the final corner and he's 1 second behind Leclerc, which just means that there is no way that he can, there's just no way that he can close that gap going into turn number 1. Right. Yeah, Stroll and Magnussen, both drivers on the medium tyres, they have gone 32 laps respectively, in fact, on those tyres. And yeah, wow. I mean, a good job. They've gone half race distance. I guess they're just going extremely long, hoping for a safety car, or the fact that their tyres will be fresher than compared to their competitors coming towards the end of the race. Perez is going for a one stop. Indeed, I think everyone is going for a one stop. Yeah. Is Lando's radio silent? He hasn't come in. Hasn't come in for ages. I mean, yeah, it probably is. They don't have too much to talk about. Like, all of these drivers are just some drivers prefer a lot of team radio, prefer the information. But we've seen this with Lando Norris, Kimi Räikkönen. They actively just tell their mechanics, like, I don't want any more information, and that's it. So, yeah. And what lap are we on? I think it says bottom left of the screen, or like not even. I don't know. It just says in the middle. 33 laps out of 63. It says just above the sub count, next to the timer. All right. Game over for Checo. Well, yeah, Checo, of course, he is the last driver out of any. Well, the only driver on the hard tyres who still hasn't come into the pits. Oh no, sorry, apologies for that. Zhou still hasn't come into the pits. Yeah, so Perez, when he does come into the pits, he will come out 13th, 12th, 13th place, something along those lines. I mean, everyone else below him is also going to come into the pit, so it'll come out as 10th place, but it's not any sort of progress for Sergio Perez. Like, Perez wants to be at least in the top 5, and he might end up even outside the points, which is not good. Yeah. I mean, he had this last year after Miami. He just was not very quick, and same thing again. He's done Miami. He's fairly quick at Miami, and here he is, and he's just not doing well. Right, I'm gonna have a quick sip of water. I'll be back in just a sec, folks. Also, any of you guys that were here last week, I have got a new mic, so that's why all of the mic cutting out issues have gone away. So yeah, let me know if you can notice the difference. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, Ocon trying to overtake Fernando Alonso. Zhou's just come out of the pits after doing 33 laps on a set of hard tyres. He's out on the mediums, but he should be, he should be good. What mic did you end up getting? I got a, let me read it. A Sennheiser E835S. E835, yeah, what? A Sennheiser mic, so yeah. It should be pretty good. And it's got an on-off switch as well, which is pretty handy. What happened to Albon? Albon, I actually still didn't figure out. Apparently, it was his when he came into the pits, one of the wheel nuts was loose, and then they told him to drive around really slowly. So he ended up a lap down, and now he's 2 laps down because Verstappen's so quick compared to the Williams. So that's why he's still driving around. I don't know why he's still driving around if he's 2 laps down or 1 lap down, but yeah. Yeah, they've just gone over. Lando's not happy. Lando says that he's got no pace. but apparently, well, the McLaren engineers uh, think that Leclerc are using his tires a lot more than Lando Norris is. So that's what they think. Now let's wait and see. Sarah Hassan, who do you root for if you could choose any driver to win? Well, if you guys have been on the channel for ages, you guys will know that I'm a Seb Vettel fan. But yeah, of course, Seb Vettel still isn't driving. In fact, he did drive this weekend. He drove he actually owns one of Senna's cars, and he drove it around in Imola, which is quite fantastic to say the least. But if I support anyone now, it's probably Fernando Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda. But I'm not too biased, as a commentator should be. Yeah, that's those are the two drivers that I support. But I'd love to see Seb Vettel back in the Audi, because Audi have signed Nico Hulkenberg, the 2026 I think it is. Or is it 2025? I think it's 2026. But yeah, Audi have assigned Nico Hulkenberg, which obviously Nico Hulkenberg, German driver. So there is a chance that they could, sign Seb Vettel, call him up. And in fact, Seb Vettel was testing a Le Mans 24-hour car as well. So he's not, totally out of racing, but yeah. Right, here comes Lewis Hamilton. He's got past Sergio Perez, but Perez was putting up quite a fight here against Lewis Hamilton. Don't know why, because Perez is still yet to pit and Hamilton hasn't pitted. But yeah, Perez putting up a fight, and Hamilton did make his way. Oh well, Hamilton's actually stuck behind. Sorry, apologies for that. I got Hamilton and Russell confused around, but Perez defending against Hamilton, which is interesting. Don't know why he's defending, because he's going to lose more and more time, but I guess that's what we've been told over the radio. All right. And now the blue flags are coming out. Joe has been given a blue flag um, for Max Verstappen, and Sargent and Gasly will all be getting blue flagged as well soon enough for Lando Norris. We are on lap number 38 of 63. 26 laps remain of this race, and we haven't had a safety car. All the drivers quite spread out, and Verstappen 6.5 seconds in the lead of this race. Lewis Hamilton finally does get past Sergio Perez. He just gets a very nice slipstream and swoops around the outside going into turn number one. And it looked like this time Perez decided not to fight it, since there was really no need. And yeah, Leclerc is slowly catching Norris. Yeah, he is. It's getting closer bit by bit, but it is proving difficult, as you've heard before. Not heard before, you've seen before. Even if you do have the pace to be the quicker driver, as you can see, Piastri was a lot quicker than Sainz, and that's why he's still ahead of him. It proves quite difficult to overtake here. And the only person that's been consistently overtaken is Perez, and that's because Perez is on 37-lap-old hard tires, who's finally come into the pits. But yeah, so. Also, Stroll and Magnussen just aren't pitting. Oh no, sorry, Stroll has just come into the pits, and okay, as I say that, they both come into the pits. Never mind. But yeah, lap number 39, and now everyone has done at least one pit stop. Okie dokes. Perez needed them to last this long to have a good stint on the mediums. That is a good point, yeah, because if Perez is now out in 11th position, he can only really go up to Tsunoda, because the gap between Tsunoda and Hamilton is 24 seconds. So realistically, the highest he can finish in today's race is 8th position. He's got 25 laps to make that happen, and he's got a gap of how many seconds is that? 6 seconds, 5 seconds. So he's got to gain 6 seconds on Tsunoda and all of the drivers behind him, and make 3 overtakes to get 8th position. So let's wait and see what he can do. But considering everyone else is on hard tyres and he's on a fresh set of mediums, it should be fairly straightforward to do that. Sonoda will need to pit again. I don't know. I think he should be fine. Yeah, 50 laps on the medium on hard tyres would be a bit difficult, but I think he'll be all right. Okie dokie, yeah, okie dokie indeed. Yuki is killing it this season. Yeah, I mean, he's managed to, in qualifying, out-qualify Daniel Ricciardo pretty consistently, and in races as well, doing a good job. So, yeah, solid job from Yuki Tsunoda. And also, guys, if you are enjoying the coverage, be sure to hit the like button. It really would help out the channel. And also, I figured out a way to turn off adverts. So if you guys aren't getting adverts, hooray, because I don't like adverts either. But yeah, I figured out a way to turn them off without negatively impacting my stream. So I hope you guys aren't seeing adverts. And if you are, then do let me know, because I'll try something else then to get rid of them, because yeah, adverts aren't particularly the nicest thing ever and just get a bit annoying sometimes. Okay. Perez now, he's caught up to the back of Nico Hulkenberg. This is going to be, well, it should be a nice straightforward overtake. He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream. Here he comes down the main straight, sorry. He's gaining side by side. And is Hulkenberg going to defend this? No, he's not. And Perez has got one of those overtakes done, and he's now up into 9th position. Now he's just got to overtake Yuki Tsunoda, and that is it. And then, unless he can catch up 30 seconds to Lewis Hamilton, which I think is highly unlikely, that is going to be 8th position for Sergio Perez, while his teammate is up in 1st. Why are people keeping their tyres and barely pitting? It's because the pit lane is so long in Imola. It takes around about 30 seconds to come into the pits and change your tyres and then go back out again. Whereas on other circuits, it's usually around about 22 seconds, 24 seconds maybe, and the extra 6 seconds. If you try to do two extra pit stops, well, if you try to do 2 stops, that's an extra 12 seconds that you normally wouldn't have on another circuit. So yeah, that's the reason why. Just to it just takes far too long to actually do a pit stop. So if the pit lane was shorter, then we might see 2 stops. But everyone's doing 1 stops today. You have made following F1 easy with your live stream. Very much do appreciate it, buddy. Yeah. He was holding onto P13 and had a chance to take the top 10. Someone bring the safety car in, do it for the team. Indeed. I mean, look, I have no intention of being rude to Alex Albon, but he is currently 2 laps down compared to Max Verstappen. He is 1 lap down on Logan Sargent, his teammate, because Alex Albon had a massive issue and had to drive around at safety car pace while everyone was going full speed. And, if Albon, you're going to carry on driving, you could just make the race exciting, park the car, fake an issue, park the car up at turn number 1, and we could have a nice safety car. That would spice things up. Yeah. Yeah, Albon probably should retire. If he retires from the race, I think he gets he's allowed to use a fresh new gearbox without any penalties next race. So he could do that. Alonso pitted. Oh, Alonso pitted after 34 laps on the hard tyres. He's decided he's had enough, and he's come out on a set of mediums. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, interesting. I would have thought that he could go to the end of the race, but the tire wear has been higher than normal. So maybe what I said earlier about everyone being able to make it to the end of the race is probably a bit untrue, because we heard from the McLaren engineers, they were saying that tire wear is a lot higher than normal, and a lot higher than predicted as well. So maybe we might see a couple more pit stops. And also, let me just adjust the screen so you guys can see all of the tire information properly. There we go. That is the tire information up properly. Yeah. All right, Max just won the 24-hour sim, and doing this is quite impressive. Well, there you go. I mean, Max Verstappen, for any of you guys that don't know, Max Verstappen was taking part in the 24-hour Nürburgring iRacing sim race, and he obviously didn't do all 24 hours. I think it did maybe 2 stints of 3 hours or something like that. But yeah, his team went on to win, I think, and he is also winning the Imola Grand Prix. So you can't stop the man from winning. You really can't stop the man from winning, indeed. Right. Oh, okay. Max's team was in first, then P1 and 2 took each other out. Okay. Well, sometimes it happens in racing, but yeah. Why does Max have Max does not have a 5-second time penalty. If he exceeds track limits once again on one more occasion, then he will get a 5-second time penalty. But as of now, he is only on a black and white flag. Yeah. All right, 20 laps remain of this Grand Prix, and yeah, we have got Verstappen 7.5 seconds in the lead of this race. Charles Leclerc has finally caught up to the back of Lando Norris, but I have a feeling he's going to encounter the struggle that Oscar Piastri has been facing for at least half of this Grand Prix. And the struggle is that overtaking around this circuit with only one DRS zone is extremely tough. The thing that could work in Leclerc's favor is that if there is a little bit of traffic, then that could hold up Lando Norris more than they hold up Leclerc, and that could mean that Leclerc has a little small chance to gain on the McLaren. But yeah. All right, Fernando Alonso, fastest lap of the race, and he is out on the medium tyres by the looks of it. Yeah. Oh, we've reached the light goal. All right. Yeah. Oh, in fact, we're getting pretty close to the subscriber goal as well. If you guys are not subscribed, then be sure to do so, so we can just hit 69,000 subscribers, because why not? All right. We'll go 1,800 likes. Alonso's on the soft to watch it. Okay. I guess Alonso is on the softs. I don't know why you would go on the softs with 19 laps left to go. I don't think the softs can do 19 laps, but I mean, Pirelli said the soft tires drop off really badly after 20 laps, but yeah. How did Sainz get so far back? Just a skill issue, really. No, Sainz has just been struggling a little bit with his. I think both Ferraris are suffering from higher tyre wear than the McLarens, so the McLarens just end up being slightly quicker because their tyres are in better condition. Okay, yeah, Leclerc still on the back there of Lando Norris, but once again struggling really badly to get that overtake done. And yeah, the current tyre is in the leftmost column. It's a bit confusing. I don't know why it's sort of set up in that way. Like, you would expect the leftmost to be the previous, and then the middle to be the second tyre, and the right to be the third tyre, but it is the other way around. And you can see that because every time Alonso does a lap, the number goes up on the medium tyre rather than the soft tyre, because the soft tyre was his first tyre that he started the race on. How do the teams control the tyre wear, though? Do they make just the rims? That is a good question, and since there isn't too much action going on, I can answer that. So effectively, the way how the teams control the tyre wear is the amount of. It's through the suspension, really. That's the main thing. So if the suspension is really soft, then what that does, it transfers more of the load onto the outside tyres. So as the drivers go through a high-speed right turn, the left-hand side of the car gets a lot of load, and the softer the suspension is, the more load goes towards the left tyre, and it wears them out significantly more than if you're on a harder suspension or slightly different damper settings and stuff like that. They can modify they can modify the amount of load that goes onto each tire and hence modify the amount of tire wear. Yeah. So that's how they modify. Yeah, that's how they dictate how much tire wear there is. Of course, it is slightly quicker to have a soft car everywhere. You know, going through the high speed corners, you're really leaning on the tires if you have a soft suspension setup. But then that means that as you as you're driving around, your tires wear out a lot quicker because you're extracting much more of the natural grip from the tires and I forgot what the word was. I forgot the proper word. But you're sort of extracting the low speed grip from the tires itself. And the other thing is if your car is quicker if your car's got more downforce, you're gonna slide around less. And if you're doing less sliding around, that's less tire wear, less overheating. So if you just reduce your downforce levels, that increases your tire wear because you're sliding around more. Yeah, fun Formula One facts with F1 Gamer. What can I say? I've watched an awful lot of like F1 tech news. F1 tech news. I know F1 like upgrades and all of that stuff. So I guess I know a fair amount. Lap number 48 of 63, and we have got Kevin Magnussen chasing down Guan Yu Zhou for 15th position. And apart from that, in the top 10, there is no one even within 2 seconds of the driver ahead of them, let alone 1 second. The closest is Charles Leclerc to Lando Norris, but yeah, he's really struggling with his tyres now. His tyres are... his tyres are 4 laps fresher than Lando Norris's, but the Ferrari not doing that well. And in fact, Leclerc making a mistake going into the chicane, just cutting the corner because he locked up the brakes. Oh no, he just broke a little bit too late, trying to push a little bit too hard and just went all over the dirt. And that's why he's 2 seconds back. So yeah, Charles Leclerc feeling a bit of the heat, and I'm sure the overheating isn't helping. All right. Max is lapping Alonso. Is he lapping Alonso? No, Max is not lapping Alonso. Max has already lapped Alonso, I'm pretty sure. He's coming up to lap now Ricciardo. So would Guan Yu Zhou be in 2025? Where is he going to be? No idea, because the way that Audi have bought up the Sauber team, they are under no obligation to keep Bottas or Zhou. Now, I think keeping Bottas would be a very good, option. Bottas has got so much experience; he already knows the mechanics and the engineers and how the team works. So it would be a really good idea to keep Valtteri Bottas. Guan Yu Zhou, of course, he hasn't. He's fairly decent. In fact, he's matching Valtteri Bottas quite consistently. But the problem remains is he just hasn't got as much experience, and they've already signed Nico Hülkenberg, so the other slot is still remaining. Maybe call up Seb Vettel. That'd be fantastic. I would love to see that, but maybe they just sign up Valtteri Bottas because he's already at the team. But yeah, that's it totally depends on the way that Sauber want to run the team. They have opted to just have complete control over the drivers' contracts, and they've said, we're going to sign Nico Hülkenberg. Right. Also, yeah, Orfen 1989. It looks like a prediction didn't quite materialize. I mean, we've still got 14 laps left to go. But yeah, why isn't science communicating? Usually, if the thing just doesn't come up on, I'm not sure how this team radio thing comes up, but it is. It's either they're just not communicating because they don't really need to. Like, Sainz is approaching traffic now, so they might just say, "Oh yeah, blue flags are being waved." But apart from that, Sainz he's not really got much to do. He's got to set his lap times and he'll be fine. So yeah. Has Max lost some seconds because Norris is closer? Oh yeah. What has Max done? He's lost 2 seconds somewhere. I don't know on which lap, but we'll get a replay at some point. It'll probably just be Max missing the breaking point or something. A blue flag means when a driver on the lead lap, so say Verstappen now, he is, in fact, I can show you. So Verstappen is here. Daniel Ricciardo is in 12th position, and he is, behind him, and he's already coming around to lap him. So just a blue flag is basically just telling Daniel Ricciardo, like, time to get out of the way, and let the race leader past. So that's what a blue flag is. You're about to get lapped. Look at that, fastest lap of the race from Fernando Alonso. He said that quite a few laps ago, but maybe Verstappen won't get the fastest lap of the race, and only 25 points. Not 26. Who knows? Right. Yeah. Not too much going on there. That's it, really. There we go. Yeah, we had some science messages. It's gone past, but it was just about blue flags, not nothing too interesting. Pretty sure fast lap's going to come at the end. Yeah, Max in his last lap usually does do that. Sainz has got DRS on. He's got DRS on the traffic. He's not got DRS on Oscar Piastri. Yeah. Almost half the circuit is lapped. Indeed, that's exactly what happens when you don't have a safety car and you have Max Verstappen's dominance. Everyone from 12th position and below is getting lapped, and by the looks of it, 11th position as well. Nico Hulkenberg is about to get lapped as well. So, yeah. We have got 10,000 people tuned into the stream. Very much to appreciate it, folks. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're getting very, very close to both the like target and the subscriber target. If we could hit 69,000, that would be fantastic. And I hope you all are enjoying the coverage. Even though this race isn't the most exciting thing in the world, yeah, glad that you guys are still tuned in. Right. Yeah, nothing much else. Sorry, I've just been a bit distracted. Okay. Yeah, lap number 11, lap 11 laps remaining, sorry. And we've got George also coming into the pits because, 31 laps on those hard tyres. It seems like he can't do any more. So he was in 6th position. Perez is just at fastest lap of the race. Wow. That's the quickest third sector from Sergio Perez. Don't know how exactly he has done a quickest third sector and managed to get fast lap of the race, but props to him. And George Russell is out of the pits, and he could actually get overtaken by Sergio Perez here. So yeah, the gap remains. The gap is 1.5 seconds. Now Russell will have the fresher tires. He's got 2 lap old mediums, whereas Perez has got 15 lap old mediums. But Perez, of course, is in the Red Bull and is in a quicker car. So let's wait and find out what happens. Yeah. All right. Lando Norris is closing up on Max Verstappen. Yeah, actually, he is closing up. I don't know how this is happening. Previously the gap was 7 seconds. Max made a bit of a mistake and it went down to 5. and now it's down to 3.7 seconds. So on the previous occasion, Lando Norris was half a... Wait, what? Lando Norris on the previous lap was half a tenth quicker. So yeah, it looks like Norris is pushing and Verstappen's kind of just going on along at his merry speed. So he could catch up, but yeah, once again, getting that overtake done, extremely difficult around here. Max does not have a 5-second penalty, but if he does exceed track limits just one time, just one occasion of exceeding track limits, and he will be given a 5-second time penalty because he's already on a black and white flag. So, you know, who knows what will happen. Gap down to 3 seconds now. He is really pushing here. And on the previous lap, 1 full second gained on Max Verstappen. That is incredible. Wow, okay. Well, with 9 laps left to go, Lando Norris could go on and, well, he could go on and get DRS off Max Verstappen, and there is a chance he could win. But I'm not going to... I don't think that's going to happen, but... You know, I would love to see it happen, honestly. 2.5 seconds now. Oh my God, he is really pushing here. Through the first sector alone, he gains half a second. Oh my God, Lando Norris. Where has this pace come from? I mean, he must be seriously conserving the tyres. I heard a team radio earlier saying that, oh yeah, we're conserving our tyres, the Ferraris are pushing, so don't worry about the pace. But that is some serious tyre conservation that Lando Norris has been doing. And he can just pull this pace out of nowhere, which is... insane to say the least. Let's see if Max Verstappen responds. But Lando Norris is gaining like there is no tomorrow. And the infographic on screen says that there will be he'll close up in 5 laps time. We've got 9 laps remaining. So let's wait and see what happens. 1L means the driver is 1 lap behind. So it just doesn't show the timing because it's not particularly important if they're, you know, an entire lap behind. Yeah. All right, then 2.3 seconds is the gap. And on this lap, Lando Norris was once again, he was 0.8 of a second closer. So, yeah. Verstappen's over the radio complaining about Yuki Tsunoda as traffic. He's saying, oh, can he be more stupid? Because I guess Tsunoda didn't get out of the way as soon as Verstappen would have liked. But McLaren upgrades help massively retire Deg, clearly. Yeah, that's actually probably a good point. Of course, Lando and Oscar are fabulous at managing tyres. Any insights on how the upgrades could do that? It's probably what they could do is they could just add more downforce without reducing drag. So they can, you know, have the same top speed as everyone else, but then just have more downforce. And since they have more downforce, they'll have less sliding around. And less sliding around means less tire wear. So that's probably, and then maybe they can lift and coast at the correct places and stuff like that, and they've optimized it. But I'm not sure, really. The gap now below 2 seconds. So, you know, if it carries on at this rate, he's going to get DRS. I mean, Verstappen has picked up the pace. On the previous lap, he was half a second quicker than his lap before that. Lando's just been told over the radio to push harder through turn number 9, which is Piritella. And that is a very high-speed corner. And if you do exceed track limits there, you are straight onto the gravel. So let's wait and see what Lando Norris can do. But he's already, you know, he's got that first race win, so there's no mental block anymore. There's no like, oh, what if because there's no pressure. Whereas for your first race win, there is so much more pressure. But now he's got his first race win, and he's just pushing like there is no tomorrow. And look at that, gap down to 1.6 seconds. Wow. Here we go then. We could actually have a great battle. Could have a great battle between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. I wasn't expecting this. Yeah, seriously, brilliant. Okay, here we go then. I mean, I was saying this race isn't exciting, and to be fair, the previous 58 laps haven't been that exciting, but here we are. We've got 6 laps left to go, Lando Norris has got 1.6 seconds to gain to Max Verstappen, only 6 tenths to get within DRS range, and on the previous lap he was 4 tenths of a second quicker. And Verstappen's pace has not picked up. He was previously doing 120.9s. After Lando Norris picked up the pace, he's now doing 120.5s. But yeah, is that going to be enough? Lando Norris really pushing. Oh my god, he nearly lost the rear going through the second chicane at turn number 6, but stays within track limit, stays on the curb, and wow, yeah. All right, I'm going to have a quick sip of water, and let's get back to commentating Lando Norris. Right, here we go then. We have got the final 5 laps, and on the previous lap, Lando Norris was 4 tenths of a second quicker. Oh no, sorry, 3 tenths of a second quicker compared to Max Verstappen. Verstappen once again going a tenth quicker than his previous lap, so he is picking up the pace. Now let's just wait and see. And this is the thing, Verstappen has now been told to pick up the pace, so even the slightest mistake, slightest loss of the rear end, and he exceeds track limits, that is a 5-second penalty for Max Verstappen. So even if Lando Norris doesn't even have to overtake Max Verstappen, all he has to do is maybe force him into a mistake to exceed track limits. Boom, 5-second penalty there for Max Verstappen, and Lando Norris takes his second win in a row. So he doesn't have to even overtake him on the circuit, because Verstappen has made quite a few mistakes in the earlier part of the race, and has ended up with a black and white flag after 3 track limits extensions. Do you think what do you ask? Do you think Lando is strategically just slow enough so he can overtake on the last lap and avoid getting overtaken by Max again? Well, if he overtakes on the last lap, it is going to be extremely difficult, because there will be a massive drag race to the finish line out of the final corner, and Verstappen will not be afraid to send it. Oh no, we've just got a message from Lando Norris. Yeah, I'm just losing too much grip. Not a lot I can do. It's a second message up at the bottom right of the screen. Yeah, not great signs, and now it's about to get popped off the screen. But Lando Norris says he's losing grip, and he's crossed the line now, and yeah, he's crossed the line. What was his lap time? His lap time was there an identical lap time, or is it not updated? Oh yeah, no, his lap time was slower than Max Verstappen on the previous lap. He was a tenth slower than Verstappen. Not great, not great. All right. Here we go then. What happened to Albon? Albon has retired. Can we get an F in the chat there for Alex Albon? Yeah, so he was 2 laps down. He had an issue with his pit stop, which meant he had to drive around really slowly for 1 lap, and that is why he was 2 laps down, and then he's just retired because there's no need to end the race. And if he does retire, then he does get a fresh gearbox in Monaco without a penalty. So, yeah. No, I'd just like to reiterate, Max does not have a 5-second time penalty. If he exceeds track limits in the next 2 laps, then he will get a 5-second time penalty, but he has not got one as of now. All right. Yeah. We have got 3 laps remaining, lap number 61 of 63. The top 3 remain unchanged from the start of the race. Charles Leclerc will probably end up on the podium, unless there is some horrible mistake. But yeah, here we go. Nico Hulkenberg with 2 lap times deleted. It has not been ideal, really. Here we go then. What can Lando Norris do on this lap? And he is quicker in the first sector. Lando Norris is quicker than Verstappen in the first sector, but then in the second sector, he is slower, and then it averages out in the third sector. So that's what he's been doing. Max has been careful about track limits, yeah, because he knows that one track limits extension, and that is it. They've been told, Lando Norris has just told Verstappen that his battery's totally empty. Verstappen's radio battery almost empty. Oh, this is getting exciting. I mean, I've never heard this kind of radio before, but Verstappen just said that his battery is almost empty, and Lando Norris has still got battery charge. Look at that, and we've got nearly 1 second is the gap now, so we're on the second to last lap of the race. We are on the second to last lap of the race, so if Lando could get DRS and get an overtake on the final lap, that would be incredible. Lando Norris is expected, like this is not accurate by any means, but Lando Norris seems to be on 60% battery charge, and Verstappen seems to be on 30%. And might I point out, the drivers use 60% of their battery in a quali lap. Like 60% is like full send, full activation. Quite exciting to say the least. And look at that, Stroll is about to lap Fernando Alonso. That is quite the statement. That's usually the opposite of what we expect. But just ahead of the little battle between Verstappen and Norris, Stroll is about to lap Fernando Alonso, which is not great. A really bad weekend and a weekend to forget for Fernando Alonso. But now the focus lies on Max Verstappen versus Lando Norris for the lead of the race. The gap is 1 second, 1.5 tenths as they come out of Ravazza. Not close enough for DRS. He will have the slipstream as he goes towards turn number 2. Max Verstappen has led this race really nicely, and within the first time, for the first time in this race, in fact, Lando Norris, since lap 1, Lando Norris is once again in DRS race. So on the first lap and on the last lap, Lando Norris is in DRS of Max Verstappen. Apart from that, Verstappen has been out in the lead. As they go through Tosa now, the gap is 7 tenths of a second. One tiny little mistake here from Max Verstappen, and he will end up exceeding track limits, and that will be that. So here he comes through now towards Piratella. Lando Norris and Max Verstappen through Aqua Minerale now, making sure not to hit the brakes and steer at the same time. Nicely done from both drivers. And yeah, here they are now into Variante Alta, turn number 14 and 15. Verstappen's gone harshly over these curbs before, but he makes his way through nicely. Does not seem to exceed track limits. And here they go now into the final couple of corners. Ravazza for the final time, turn number 17. Lando Norris gets, neither of the drivers lock up, and it looks to be all fine. And here comes Max Verstappen. Across the line they go. Norris has DRS, but it is not enough. It is first place for Max Verstappen, second for Lando Norris, and third for Charles Leclerc at his home race. That has been the Imola Grand Prix. Piastri comes home in 4th position, and we have Sainz in 5th. A really good race for both McLaren and Ferrari. They are very, very close. And Lando Norris, I must say, some serious progress has been made in that previous McLaren upgrade. And he was getting extremely close to this race win. Maybe 1-2 more laps and Lando Norris could have won. So watch out next weekend out in Monaco. We'll find out what happens. But that has been a fantastic Grand Prix. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I really do appreciate all the support. And have we hit 69,000 subscribers? No, we are 12 subscribers away. 12 subscribers away from 69,000. So if you guys could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Not 12, 22, 21. Yeah. All right. That is the checkered flag. Wow. What a Grand Prix that has been. Not the most exciting, if I'm going to be totally honest. But right at the end there, Lando Norris giving us some excitement to look forward to. There we go, 69,000 subscribers. It is a very nice, a very nice number, to say the least. Right. I'm just going to, what was I going to do? I'm just stick around for a while, and then I will end up, then I'll end the stream. But yeah, if you guys have any messages in the chat or anything like that, that would be fantastic. Any questions or anything like that, yeah, do let me know. Okie dokes. Yeah. Oh, that's not updated properly. There we go. All right then. Yeah, not too much going on right now. Lando Norris, of course, very pleased, second podium in a row. And Charles Leclerc and the Tifosi, of course, very happy as well. With the fact that they've got a podium at their home Grand Prix. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. It's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys... who is driver of the day? Actually, I do not know, but I'm going to say Lando Norris off just a guess. But yeah, probably Lando Norris. Yeah, Lando Norris comes over the radio saying 1 or 2 more laps. That's all I needed to win. It's very frustrating not to win. Yeah, Norris got driver of the day. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, so it's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and very much do appreciate the support. My pick for Monaco, I'm gonna go with. Actually, I'm going to say the exact same podium is going to happen again, except Leclerc is going to be in second place and Norris is going to be in third. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Depending on where you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night. And I will see you in 1 week's time for the Monaco Grand Prix. I'm going to end this stream. It'll take you over to the qualifying stream for Monaco. Go ahead and press the reminder button and all of that good stuff. Hit the like button as well. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. And I will see you in 1 week's time for Monaco. Cheers, fellas.